These are done.
So me ne obiwe no ngeke hawo. Me no lipe ke pie wali bi me ahe ekum. Me kanu ko be ni wo manyike na lesika wo manchi eshi no ne epeke no hawo hiyo. Ani wa kula no choke no chake asike pie mo fia nyuma ke no.
Community Radio, voice of the Dangme people.
Nyemes only get Dangme Jeke where radio at the Dangme FM or Jine. Yes, Baminya, Inganye. Can drumming in a monolibio, a whoop, ne a true, ne a conibly. Yamika Bamium cry, Unonga. Ibuano kubo nyake o kam esu motukwala biomi kusumi nyane yako.
I am the station coordinator for Radio Ada, a community radio station in Ghana, specifically located at Ada. We serve the Dangme speaking people.
No nenengeno yange Israel ke Lebanon bi akpetiti 3 Hezbollah atoncholium we kone ayena no Israel bi menyo adrato ni ne ewo keba ehane takpatali.
My attempt is to essentially to make global issues meaningful to the local people. So that, for example, today, one of the themes that is running through has to do with the Israeli-Lebanese conflict, which this week has resulted in increase in petrol fares and, for that matter, transportation fees. This is what is happening over there that affects us directly, so that they also understand what's going on at different places on the globe.
Jemami akaka bemi ko ebu adwe kokrakra lenche jine in room ne ekanumunyu ebu adwe sansansan here padio yini minimum bad ni apata tane mayi mekelo eke ma global to me pa mami yepino FM.
Radio Ada serve around 500,000 people. There are farmers and there are fishers over here. Before Radio Ada came on air, at the time, our language is not used by any other radio station. you say Dangme people, one of the most striking features of the Dangme speaking people is their language. And this is the only radio station that is promoting language and culture. The community radio stations have a lot to do and a lot of skills to be built to support communal life.
Wabinye mla bioko pasi. Mondo heni nya ready adaya ji ela vanyo. Le wanyemi yihine wake me maseni mondo ji nyeme nye yi. Sho nyemi me we nyala vanyo mano. Emini ji ni komenenga no yange mam. Alo nye hiami ni skomi. Alo ni komenenga nye nye kwa joy kange nye mami. Ne na poche mke community ndiso. Nye mahane mambine anu. Gladi sakoto. Mo te wo ngoni komenenga hu. Nge ala vanyo ne waye.
Yo, moi ni chumi o first ne wa ngbe matin. Ne wa podun wa weji amo ke wala ke mumui. Se ma be kan je han ewie mi lo je han mo ino. Wa bana sabola dumi wa ke ba pie. Sabola dumi o eji kan no ko ne wa jo ewuwe se da ne ke wa madun o de wa ya hiyo.
Kanye ma wo sabola ko ne wa se sabola hini. Already adama sonne nye dewo ke esube benye plan ke ho sabola ngo benye plan ke mani o benye pioni wo wali sabola ke kele wa nale wa hiyo wa sange kam
sabola ngo enge pange amomu humi sabola ngo ama hu egbaja la ma pie line la ma podo na fi kele gbe o ma amadu but o ma wata na fi.
If we take some of our programming, there are some general programs for information. There are others that are specific, those that we consider to be narrow casting. We have the farmers doing their own program, fisher folk doing their own program, so that the broadcast is for a specific group that can be seen in so many villages, and so they are connected through the kind of economic activity that they do. Then another segment talks about the skills that are employed.
Wana kan hiyo mi hiange wa adapo panon. Hiyo mi ne mi hia. Enyala vanyo sabola duli. Nenye ke dali binyi ha sabola ni. Jenye na anyu keji.
Ajibuye.
Ajibuye. Kenye plan ke sa anyu ke ko sabola ni.
It is they themselves using the radio to share ideas, to raise concerns, to teach skills that they employ in their trade, and to tell others what successes they have been able to make as a result of the kind of work they do.
Community radio is radio which is established by the people for their own use, and for their own use for the social, economic, and cultural development of their own communities. My wife and I helping to start Radio Ada.
Access to radio, participation in radio, the ability to be a creator through the medium of radio can be considered to be a basic human right. And it is a particularly relevant right in communities such as we have in Ada, which are not only predominantly non-literate, but which are able and which have been able through generations to bring out their treasures, their indigenous wealth, their cultural wealth through oral tradition. Every community member is a potential producer.
I work with a team of people who help and the management of the station. They are all volunteers.
Voice of the Dangme people, Radio Adanji Notne. Anybody who is working here, he is seen as a very special person. So they also get what we call that in psychic reward. You also feel proud that they are working here. If you are thinking of wealth, you cannot work here. If you are thinking of coming to Radio Adan so that you can build a house, so that you can buy cars, it's not so. Because the people you are serving, they are poor.
Should we add one? The school is in a community where they are fishing and farming community. When they are in the league season, the parents don't get enough money for the children to cater for them, especially buying their school uniforms, sandals, exercise books, pen, and other things. They don't get money. Even what they eat becomes a problem. Hey. Go for it. Starting with class 6 first. The girls, most of them drop out because of teenage pregnancy. Formerly we were 58, 28, 86, 36. Formerly we were 14 and 9. We were 23, but now it has flopped to 18. We have a lot of dropouts. You see, the problem here is they didn't see any benefit in education since they are fisher folks. And then their work also needs people, a lot of people to drag the net. At times, about 30% or 40% of the enrollment will be at the beach. We adopted a mechanism to go there to catch them, feed them, but the parents became annoying. Why should you come and catch my child at the beach to come to school?
Because the parents are not literates, they don't go to school. So they don't see the reason why the children must also go to school. Radio Adan tell the parents that when the children go to school, they also grow well and be best people in the community, and then they have jobs. And if you have a job, you are not poor.
No problem.
No problem. There's nothing in fish smoking. Mini locker from when on my feet. I will learn sewing.
The Dangme area of Ghana is amongst the most economically depressed part of this country. In our environment, where most of the people are illiterate, the printed material is not that relevant. But reaching the people by radio in their own language and getting them involved in designing and producing the programs themselves goes a long way. These are people who know what is good for them. So it's not always a question of somebody coming in with information from outside, but more important is giving them the opportunity to use what they already know, what they already have, to strengthen it, to enrich it, and use it to develop their own communities.
Whenever I visit some of the fishing or the farming communities, then a certain young girl, she said she will also one day come up like a program producer for Radio Adam. I asked her, why have you, she said, I'm also a woman and I'm producing program for Radio Adam. So she also one day, so I told her to learn hard. If she wanted to be like me, she should learn hard. My joy, I can make me go. Nay, ye, you prejudice in me. Or can I do all a liblo? Eh, dang the prejudice in it. Oh, Jaman, check me a wawo. I can pure be a baby, sir, a baby or pure baby. Your monga first week on be near school. I could some more. I could tell it. Oh, okay, ili benefit I sani magbe wale so. Ya ke me bi go. E je da mo nyon ne tu. Ga mi papale ine wuda. I was sick at 12. I couldn't when I was sick at 3. Oh, watch one you. Watch one. Being a no madano jam. I come my yard, I come my ama probi. We have origins plenty today. The items are fishes,
oranges, rice, maize, palm nuts, palm oil, so on and so forth, etc. I will spend about 4 to 5 hours from 8 to, let's say, 11:30, 12. Ne ejika se jole wasa sitawa from eji asafotu soha le juamino ne le pan la hun si dia pe nu ni atomi atogbe la ngan si dia pe nu ni ke si dia pe nu ni ato lo chuchu le juami ka popoku sama pan la vela nangma ma odoyi mona popoku one badwa ni si dia pe pa ni si dia pe ne ke si dia pe nu ma ni sama wa to na si dia pe nu ma ke si dia pe ni ready ada munyo tutu ko nga wa hyan jwa mi jane ke ne ne mene lolio mekiko anyona blo keke bene apne ke wodua wanu
e bene le bayon ke bena gbelu ke wai ke bena gbelu ke hisan me wase senaminga sisijio ke kan jua mi hihu ni mo me de kan jua mi hiha wo le jua mi hihu ni mo me hu alio.
Formally, they will have to ask drivers what is available in market, what is selling, what is not selling, what is available where. Not only the drivers, but those who have returned from the market. But now that is answered through the radio.
Poverty, certainly, it's a much bigger problem than the gender problem in Ghana, and as is the case in most of Africa. Now, Radio Ada addresses both.
At the beginning, when Radio Ada started in 1998, when the fishmongers were asked what they wanted to include in their programs, what the content should be, they said they only wanted to talk about technical matters, how to select fresh fish, how to smoke the fish, how to take it to market, what the price of the fish is, etc. But 2 years later, they then said that they wanted to take it to another level, that beyond the technical level, they wanted to use the program to speak to their husbands.
Neteni jomne ba nyimine pe nyemi ne sihimio ne engo Radio Danje endo ne gawmi biosu gawlio menge hiyo Ishmael kome famati ne
Michael kwabla otibo
Mami cha ine hiyo
Radio Dance ne papa ga papa na hiwo ye minyoji ke oko hunu nge lo ananyumo ne ke yonge wo lo numo lo bie numo samnyane lesio numo ma hyonkun ke beni yo le ska one ma ha ebi adano no ga edwem nya gba yo mi gamla lo ke ma mu ne ba pe
o je no me na yin na to mo yo pe de nye pe e ko gbe be no cho le ko gba ya no ga gbe o ke de gbo ne ma yin sin se no lo do ma che we cook any na ama ye chapi kana ko jona buno ko fo isi o ne atu en kene ejo daga le hun ne ya woyo ne eko edomo we ke inga yo no hala you know, with the advice program, most of the people that bring the advice are the female because traditionally they don't have a say. They don't have much say. Some of the women said, because of this, I wanted to commit suicide because of what my husband is doing. But because of your advice, I'm not going to do that again. Then they will come and thank us. But boom, ne mahambo, yahambo jam boom yowi. Eko work eba. No ko anwe no pe nye cheme nye sa nye no wo. Le anwe no. Ni ko ngane ma jama Tommy ope ne bumi behi. Eko ngane onye sero e ho lo anwe yu onwo anwe hu eko ngo. Ina makranga yo ine ajonga se be funga yo ne jonga nyumo helenge fa bedenge kolone se wali se ko pa pepe no chon ano gbe ene wo yo e be wa na de chun ni o ina e wa pune ga ye ni le ma ga chuno ba ko nglaji ya ma che no meli we kuke ni na mo wonge we kuli na wenge we kuli.
Women here, they accept certain situations, not because they like it, but because they are used to it. It is there.
Most of the letters that we receive comes from the illiterates. What they do is that they get the school children or some other literates to write the letters for them. Some people, they have the problem, but they don't get anybody to write it for them. Then what we normally do is that the advice through to radio that you see, you may be having the same problem. So as we are giving advice to somebody with similar disease, you also receive your answer.
Basi na ke kambu nene o ma butu yo o ma ke choso hi se ke kambu nene butu yo ne jo ka o ndu ngegu e ko ne le I butu yo abi ne nyimu ka yo hisi ne sa ne nyimu ne wayo e akeye abi mi ne nyimu wayo wi olo e ko ngai blu fam le ke ha bi ne nyunga yo mahisi ne nyimu mahayo sika.
You know, we are polygamous. It's a gender issue. A woman is feeling cheated, so she wants somebody to help her out.
Bene ike wange wajesi fesio le ino pepio inge pepepe. Se ka je bene ke ba ngoyo me ke ba tai no ke ichaki. Nkolo bon le ne le wenge hikma na munge hikma ili mi ka ibo twilo ku.
Atinala no pion. Yo I want ga ko no ko like what dey ko surface na ebi o arefa bi o o ke ni chumi nga ko ju ba gon amo agwajo wa we
Be nga ye mikri fun e ja kan ne pansa na milinga no je ne le wo ko ke bo ye mikri ba fun loko ji ye bo abajo yi.
But then there is a change. Now there are certain girls who would not go in to be a second wife. No. You see, there is a change, but it is slow. Until everybody is educated, until everybody gets a job, then things will change.
The fishermen are responding in small but very definite ways to the issues raised by the women. So what they may not be able to talk about face-to-face in their homes, at least initially, they are able to talk about through the programs, and the programs open the way for dialogue on a face-to-face basis. So with time, we hope, and with more work on the ground, with more interaction, this change, we hope, will go towards a direction where the voiceless will become more voiced in a way that everyone will feel is equitable.
The men are now listening to their wives because the man did not want the issue broadcast. And so the question was posed. If you didn't want such an issue to come on air, what could you have done? What we do here is also some form of mediation. It is work in progress.
Today is one of our consultation days. Normally within a period of 2 years, we do consultation.
Yehemanye, Yehemanye, Kekemana Yesi, Ka Wachenye Benomi, Benomi ne wange Hiomi Bloye, ne Wangonikume, Wablen to Tukume, Radio Ada, and Nichumio who he yawo, Heji Waba, in Anyesi, Nichumio, Muhu Onyangem, Yibamike, a Kudomi, Ke Eblonya to Tuinkra, Eji Dangme Ablonyane atone ejepopan ne dibliko bemio ekpe no fenoko onge kopeji onge manwamijio nyumujio dio we have come for a district consultation, and consultation is about enhancing community participation in the operations of Radio Ada. We are now doing group work.
Ada Radio no lo Dangme FM no echoka wo chopo agbi kagu pe ne aka pe o me ga be fu ano e ko me ga ne adani o ne na koji Dangme ko pa o ne ja ga Dangme ni ya blo ga ja ko ne me mu am no ne e ga ya ga Dangme ne ke wa mi ko na ba ni wa ye ba ye ko ke ha e lo ma ba ni
iyo menye no ko nenye mabinyu momelo abino ko nge no yemi blonya to tue ne abike iyo mene kanye denga heke iyo mena he
de montagne a donc fils ne de leji ni mo ta yo asini Wangati na ba FM lo ga hawo na pasi dege kenene wa ademone be yo imami ke pale.
Formerly, our women feel shy to talk, even in their homes, but gradually with their education on air, they now feel proud of speaking.
Jana ikuwa hu eji chose ke han bi yo lo le no hu pasi na guje
Mama mi menu ake wa ni agbenge Radio Ada ba ti ato mi se wa to see me blow e me blow ke ibi oro di dewe ta bi omunyugo e ma de ne no mo bi o so ko bi le ma de lo amole wa mo we wa ni ja so lo ade to lo sa na wa pe wa ni mo wa ni mo no mo bi lo lo ne mo e no mo bi na ebi nye no wo di
Radio Ada e blonya tu nene wa na ji ne wa ko si blonya tu wa na kan lo wa ma de ke lo no po ni na fun mi no pan ka su gbogbo na fo le kru nge wa ni tu ke Radio Ada e che wa patapata nene ji wa blonya me wa chon Radio Ada ko ne ni ne alim yenge ike mo abuade le bowoja mo le bowoja ko wa ko ye ahua so wa yi ko wa de mo ole
Radio Ada, apart from giving voice to the voiceless, is also very committed to the process of using dialogue for change. We are in the midst of social and cultural transformation. Whether Radio Ada is there or not, this social change will take place. Radio Ada's role is to help ensure that in the process of change, there will be some equity, and that people are able to reflect on what the options are and to be able to make the most judicious, the wisest choices for themselves and for their communities.
Hemba fiaka ke ibengwe pago hinyane wabu fiamio mene amano metui. Hago nimbeli kusie humebo asigbe ne eje han lafaka ke enu ehowe ya bronya tutio meje amafun enyo huo nge asigbe copy enu jena ho amatue nge asigbe copy esi bime ewie bibi.
I lost a family, an auntie in the family. I come here just to announce funeral. We paid 161,000 cedis for the 2 announcements. When you look at price, this one is reasonable.
Before Radio Adan came. And by then I was having almost 30 to 40 clients weekly. So as Radio Adan came, my clients reduced times 15 or 10.
Gongo Beta, you have to send to villages. Oh, Adan, the villages, so many villages. You pay transport, you bid Gongo. So it's more expensive than this. Sometimes Gongo go down here. And the person is not in the house, he doesn't hear. Already they announce it at the time everybody is ready to hear. Exactly at 7, everybody is in the house to listen to radio announcement. Since they know that Mondays and Thursdays are for funeral announcement, mostly they all sit down to listen.
I have 17 funeral announcements and 5 social and public announcements. Thursday is the busiest day. I would domke alweho kenge male mihayeka abinyumune aswole. Kofi Jani ne aleleka ni kweche poga isi bime inu ke bibime bago and the fully to pay ne adingla ha yukuo ya kusume bronya tumyogi amafo enu wo so ha ge Jani we hit Adan inu jena ho amatule ledik Adan magoma ahla ami kemaha nichumio ichumi fiamio mene wange ngegboko enomio meji enomni nyepeno ke twebumi.
We are working with trying to support the development of community radio stations apart from Liberia, in Kenya, in the Sudan, and there is more and more a call for support for other places.
I have been contracted by the UNMIL, United Nations Mission in Liberia, to do consultancy and facilitation and training of community radio stations in Liberia. Liberia has just gone through 14 years of war and civil strife. Community radio is about conflict prevention and management. In the national reconstruction and peace building efforts, we don't even have the public radio, which is the national radio, working in Liberia. We have been training for 2 weeks. We did 2 training sessions and the last one in Hapa. What we are doing in Liberia is to deepen their understanding of community radio. You are a journalist. Do you know that? Do you know that by working in a community radio station, you are a journalist? You don't know? We know. You know. You are a journalist, but you are a special journalist. You have the additional responsibility of making sure that the culture of your people is also expressed in what you do. And so you are one of the community radio managers said, I didn't know that the radio station is for the community. I was thinking if I just organize programs and broadcast, they will listen. So it will be community radio. But now they know that before it is community radio, the people themselves must participate. The things come. You don't keep them to yourself, but you turn them over to the community by being open and democratic.
Freedom of the press was not always the case in Liberia. So I am delighted to see so many Liberian journalists here today and everywhere I have been since my arrival. You play a crucial role in the democratic process. I hope you will play that role in a responsible manner with commitment, fairness, and objectivity.
The structures you see here, then you have the main building, which is the station, and then the antenna up there. It is the on-air studio. We have created a glass window specifically to demystify radio, to make radio just a tool, an ordinary thing. Okay? Before this place
in one of the evaluations we did of Radio Ada at one of the districts, when we raised the hypothetical question, what would happen if Radio Ada were to be taken away from you? First of all, there was a big uproar, and the people started shouting, no, you can't take Radio Ada away from us. Is Radio Ada gender sensitive? But when we were able to calm them down and say, it is a hypothetical question. No one will take Radio Ada away from you. But still, let us look at the question, what would happen? There were many responses, but one woman gave a very passionate response, which seemed to sum it all. And she said, if you take Radio Ada away from us, we would lose our language, we would lose our culture, we would lose who we are.
Voice of the Dangme people, Radio Adan, G
Chale, go check station no. Oh, asiki minister ne. Oli ka radio Dangme la agbe yin. Radio Adan, nyumre ne ke